Greetings gamers, welcome to part number 51 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 9 Path of Radiance, and in today's episode I have a lot to demonstrate. So I gave Alencia every single stat booster I had. I ended up being able to give Ike a few bonus experience points levels. He's only one away from max strength. It is very unlikely within 5 levels he will not get it. Especially because he should get like a level or two this particular chapter. Him having max speed is phenomenal. Lower skill than I would like, but you know, things just happen. RNG is RNG. However, I did reset a little bit for Alencia. It ended up not that much. I did give her both my energy drops, so she has marginally much better strength than she probably would at this point. As well as the fact that I gave her every single spirit dust, secret book, Draco shield, so on and so forth. So she's pretty well off, considering that she still has 9 levels to go, and as you can see, she can actually equip the B rank sword because I decided to give her the arm scrolls. Now, interestingly enough, it's either between Mist, her, or whatever user I'm going to give Rex Bolt, or whatever, who I'm going to give the arm scrolls to. I gave her Savior, Shade, and Parity. Now, because she doesn't have any supports at this current moment, parity is a good thing. Once she starts getting a support, and that support partner being Ike, I am going to be removing parity immediately. Shade is also going to leave. Well, actually, both of these are going to leave after next chapter. So she's only going to have Shade for 2 chapters and parity for 1, basically. Which is okay, because she doesn't need either of those. Savior is going to stay on her, but that's only because I don't really have any other attack-oriented skills I could give her. Granted, there are some things in this game that could have been a great thing on Alencia, but it doesn't particularly matter. As you can see, I did give her the full guard, so she is very well endowed with a good old amount of... Let's see, I guess I'll take the Legu's Slayer on you. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is take the Ashira staff back. But yeah, so she has a good amount of weapons, items, all that stuff. Alencia has her good old Mend and Physic. Now, you do get Fortifies in this game, so it's not just Ashira staffs that you have, and they are A rank. So, at base, Alencia can use the second best healing in the game. So, it's not as though that she is utterly without the ability to heal multiple enemies, or if, for instance, you don't get the Ashira staff, or you don't train Mist, or you have no other reasonable healers. There are definite ways to get said healers, and to make sure that you have all that you need for the coming chapters, especially because the coming chapters are going to be quite rough. Quite a bit rougher, in fact, than I've been going through. Clash is considered large and by far one of the hardest chapters in this entire game. And that's not a joke. Volk is going to be totally unnecessary. Har is definitely necessary. Lucia, Bastion, Ranoff, Morum, all these guys can disappear, because all they are going to be is giant pains in my rear. I don't want pains in the rear. I want my units to do everything that they all need to do without any issue. Mist can go here. In fact, I'll swap you too. I'll even swap you. I think that's pretty well good. You can bring a whole lot more units into this chapter than I typically ever do. The shove and smite mechanics are very good, and I would say that they are great to use in this chapter, but necessarily you'll see why you don't want to bring them. All right, it is time to begin.
General Bertram, the Crimean army has risen to the bait. Orders, sir. Your orders, sir? General, how shall we make answer?
Turn the ground soft with blood. Make a graveyard of this place. Bury them all.
Yes, sir.
Soren, do you have any information on the enemy general? Our intelligence reports say that the commander of this army is Bertram, one of Daein's 4 riders. One of the 4 riders, so he's on par with that woman we fought earlier, General Patrine? That's not necessarily so. The name 4 riders is given to the 4 persons of the highest ability among the king's advisors. So the members can change, is that it? Who are the current 4 riders? First, there was General Patrine, whom we defeated at Riven Bridge. Then, the man we face today, General Bertram. Next is General Bryce, who served the previous king. And finally, the enigmatic general known as the Black Knight. Those are the 4. This is the same Black Knight who murdered Commander Grau. Of that, there appears to be little doubt. Tell us, Soren, do you have any more information on General Bertram? I know not where he hails from. He appeared after the fall of Crimea, and has quickly gained Ashnard's favor. So he's a man of no mean ability. Like the Black Knight, he always wears his armor and never shows his face unhelmed. Some say he's not even in his armor, but that it's inhabited by an ancient specter or a demonic creature. It's all just superstition and rumor designed to heighten fear of the man. It's not important. Once we cross swords, we'll know the truth. Then we can discover for ourselves if he's just a loudmouth braggart or truly a monster. As long as our blades can wound him, I care not either way. Let's go. That last line he said, as long as our blades can wound him, is a very important line that will come into effect next chapter. Bertram here is a monster. So the game likes to say that he's a monster, and I like to believe he's a monster. 22 strength, 19 magic, 25 skill, 22 speed, 10 luck, 25 defense, 19 resistance. This guy is a monster. He actually does significant damage with the rune sword, and his spear is no mean weapon either, right? He comes with Daunt, decreases hit and critical hit percentages of all enemies within 3 spaces. There's only 3 enemies, I think, maybe 4 who have this. He has an S rank in swords and an A rank in lances. He's quite the daunting figure, and I definitely want that rune sword. But one of the main reasons why you don't necessarily want to bring any of your smiting legues is because of things like meteors, Bolganones everywhere. A whole lot of 1-2 range enemies. In fact, the overwhelming majority of the enemies on offer here have 1-2 range. Now, it's not everyone, obviously, but there are so many. This guy, for instance, has a sleep staff. That's actually interesting. I did not prepare for this. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to go back and prepare for this because I think this is very important. So, one moment as I reset my game. Alright, I should have everything I need for this particular fight. So, neither Mist nor Alencia have the staff in question to deal with that sleep staff wielding bishop, but the silence shall do the job on Rayson. You just have to be very careful because he has a range of 8 spaces with this sleep, so it's slightly more than his actual physical range. Once you creep up on fighting him, you're going to want to keep that in mind. I think... one thing I do like doing... first and foremost, I'm going to Hermern the Sonic Sword. One thing I do like doing is I like having all of my units move out in such a way that I basically use these trees down here as a form of blockade. And I think that's just a smart thing to do. Trade. The Hermern is no longer useful on you for the time being, and I'm going to chant for Ike. I don't really care about dealing with the northern units to my right. What I'd like to do is have all of my units just take them on as they come. Oh, that's very nice. Rayson has leveled very well. And I'm never using that rally command. You can bet your bottom dollar. Okay. I'm going to gather all of you around. Silver Axe is perfectly fine. This is a good chapter to use stuff like bolting on, but it's okay that I don't necessarily have anything of that nature. Some of these guys are quite strong. Har wielding a lance is probably not the best thing he could be doing right now. Though, I don't really think it's that serious of a deal. Very nice, getting a level up for Har. And a good one, nice. Always could do with more speed, but he still got some pretty good stats there. And of course, holding down the A button, because these guys need to not take up as much time as they try to. Geronio, you're doing a fantastic job. Keep being the general who ever best generaled. In this chapter, you are fighting a lot stronger enemies, by and large. And Vantage with Brave Weapons works just like it always has. A broken strategy. It's one of the many reasons why I decided not to give him something like Wrath, because then he can use his Brave Lance and Brave Sword to very good effect. In fact, I'm going to move him out as literally far as possible because I mean, Geronio is just unaffected by anything. He doesn't care. Two folks need healing. So a mend for you. Yeah, these guys are trying to swarm me back here, which is, you know, not great, but I have solutions. Times 2, 14. That would be a KO, and it wasn't. How unfortunate. El Thunder. Well, Feral Cat, you are just gone. Defeated, destroyed, ended. Ike, of course, loves the bonus, or the experience points from some combat. Alright, I think what I'm going to do here is chant for Alencia. And mend Daein. Vacati, of course. Yes, thank you. Stefan, you have been doing a very poor job as of late with that crit sword of yours. You need to amend that. Such an incredible level for Titania. That's still not any stats maxed, though. I will put you here. And I think the silver sword shall be perfect for this use case. And this is what I mean by dealing with the enemies to the rear. I don't really pay immediate attention to them. I try to pick them off with, like, stragglers of my own forces. This guy again? Are you kidding me? Har took quite a bit of damage there. I'm probably going to KO him with Har. And then move Har away. Alright, so is Tyronio doubling here? Yes, he is. Nice. That does mean that he is going to unfortunately break his weapon on one of these guys' that is attacking him, one of these generals. Unless he crits. That would be cool. You have weapon triangle advantage, and you're still doing nothing. Brave Sword is broken, but I have the Brave Lance now. Much stronger and much better weapon. I always use the Brave Sword first with Tyronio, because when you get to this point in the game, you need stronger, better mighted weapons, and this is most certainly one of those such weapons. And again, no speed. He has like a 55% speed growth, if I'm not mistaken right now. 25% plus his boost from the Night Ward. Kind of interesting that that was put into the game, but there is nothing like that in pretty much any other Fire Emblem game outside of the originals in Thracia. Very strange. Nice job, Tyronio. I appreciate that you basically just took out this whole army by yourself. That's one of the things that Tyronio just does so darn well. He is a fantastic, fantastic unit concerning crowd control. Alright, so I have a lot of units here that need taking care of, including you. Har does have Wrath, so him being at lower HP is actually not that big of a deal. It is quite the good thing in a way. Very good. Proc of Soul. Totally useless. Didn't actually do anything, but good nonetheless. Steel Bow. There's 2 Steel Bow users here. I think I'm going to take out the one. Sort of let Titania take care of the slack back here, as she is a perfect unit suited for this very task. You are tiresome, so goodbye. Good riddance. You are also tiresome. So long. Of course, to the best of my abilities, I will be defeating all of these units over here with my current assortment. That tiger is going to be kind of a bit dangerous, especially with Rayson coming anywhere near close, so I might have to KO him as well, which means one of these guys is not going to get his comeuppance. Thoron. Wow, that's perfect damage. Thoron looks really cool in this game. I'm not going to say this is the coolest iteration of Thoron in the series, but it is pretty darn cool. Pretty decent level up. Okay, so that's only 42. I'm going to have to KO you, unfortunately. And you The Killer Lance should do just fine. Yes. So, what I think I'm going to do, check you. So 36 damage, 18. So I'm doing 18 times 2. I'm not going to double, though. I could use the Killing Edge, but I'm not doubling with that, that's for sure. Ike would be a good candidate. So with the Noble, he has 18, so that's 43 damage. He could potentially KO, but it would require a crit. So I actually think I have a pretty interesting idea here. That interesting idea is you, Alencia. So 4 times 9 does not equate, but the Sonic Sword is perfect for this job. Granted, I should have probably waited to use a couple more uses of the Sonic Sword before I hammered it. I fully am well aware, but it's okay. That is my turn. Very nice. Very nice. Again, if you were just critting on the first hit, you'd be wasting a lot less uses of that good old S-rank blade. It is a good weapon in this game. I would say that it is marginal in comparison to how good it is in Radiant Dawn. But that game is completely different from this. In that, wow, counter just procced. In that game has far stronger bosses as well as far stronger enemies, and the enemies scale much higher. So you almost kind of expect the enemies in this game to have quite a bit more damage, or quite a. You expect the enemies in this game to require quite a bit less mighted weapons and less strong weapons and utilities. This is why I put you next to Daein. Save me a heal, especially because I don't want to necessarily always heal with my units. Alright. Silver Axe on you. This chapter is only difficult if you turtle or if you split your forces. At least from what I have discovered. I don't do that because I just don't think it's necessarily a good idea to either turtle or split your forces. Alright, you're going to go right here. So if he moves here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I should be pretty fine. Yeah, so close to a one-shot, and it wasn't. But what can you do? And this is going to be a very clean KO unless somehow Ike decided to miss a 91 hit on false hit. That would be incredible. Brave Lance. I think I'm going to use a Pure Water here. So yes, that should be more than enough resistance. I will shove you, just so I can chant for Tyronio. Get him closer to the battle. It is one of the things I love about Dancers. They make units that are arguably never used usable units. I actually don't think I can move Tyronio up, unfortunately. Well, I kind of can, but I kind of can't at the same time. So that was almost what I would say. Well, actually, no. I can. Nice. Perfect. Physic. I'm not actually going to heal Har right now. And that is my turn. So not very far into this map, which is good. I am making some pretty darn good progress. Next turn I'm going to be silencing that bishop and then making my way up to the boss. This chapter isn't going to take me nowhere near as long as you would immediately think it would take, just out from the outset of how difficult the enemies typically are in this map. This map is quite a hectic chapter. You just have to speed through it, and you have to speed through it as a cohesive blob of units, keeping an eye on your defense as well as strategically taking out all of the 2-range and 1-2 range enemies who would put a damper on your 1-range units not being able to necessarily do much against them. Very unfortunate I don't have the Brave Lance on Tyronio right now. But he has a Brave Sword. Nice. Ooh, Tyronio. Good shot. Incredibly good shot. I appreciate your enthusiasm and your resolve. Ooh, what is going on here? You don't have Wrath, dude. Okay. I was gonna say, if he tossed another crit, that would have been funny. Oh, he didn't double. Too sad. Okay, perfect. So, especially with Racing transforming, this is going to become even easier. So, I'm gonna put you here. Silence, I'm not quite yet able to reach. Not quite yet. A MIDI. Valencia doesn't particularly need any more experience points to be any good because of the way I raised her over that turn. Or, not turn, but over this chapter. But that isn't to say that I'm going to avoid giving her experience points. That's for certain. And that is a dead you and a happy me. Nice. So, I'm going to go ahead and go here and attack with the Brave Lance. Tyronio has finished off yet another Wyvern Lord. Level 19. Ooh, nice. Got that 18 speed. That's a huge benchmark reached by him that I definitely appreciate. Thoron is a perfect weapon for this job. Goodbye, Feral Tiger. You have lived a long and voracious life in this wonderful Chapter 26 clash, and now it is finally over. Hopefully you can be laid to rest thoroughly. Okay. Take and drop. That was really strange that I wasn't able to do that over the last, chapter in that particular situation. I guess it was just because it was too close with the amount of... I'm going to leave you back here. I'll put you here. With the amount of weight the units had. Ooh, a miss. Not good. Not good at all. I do have a restore staff, if I'm not mistaken. No, I don't, actually. Oh, man. Not good at all. Well, I could try a second time. Silence instead of my mend. Only a 54 hit. Okay, he is silenced. Nice. That is my turn yet again. Ooh. Ooh. That was a lot of damage that he just did to Mist. An unfortunate amount of damage. Yep, Shinon is taking a hit, which is always good. And my units, I think, are doing a fantastic job of holding down this area as I get ready to go in and strike the boss. It's going to be over the next, like, turn or two. I'm going to be striking the boss and hopefully finishing him off so that this chapter can be finished. Killer Bow. Would have been super great had he got a double crit there. But I actually have a way to make sure that he gets that experience points. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Veikati is running dangerously low on uses, which is okay because that's the point. Actually using your weapons. And then I think I really don't want him to use that rune sword because I don't want any uses wasted. So what I need to do is put somebody in his range who has very low physical defense. Will she get crit, though? No, not likely. She has 32 luck. Okay. I need to heal, potentially. Titania would be a good candidate for healing. I think the best candidate for healing, honestly. Perfect. And I could use Ike right here. Armor Slayer. Don't get to use these every day in this game because they're not really that great of weapons. So when I use them, and can use them, I'm happy. Steel Lance. Yes, Wrath gives you 50 crit upon having half health, which means that basically everything he has is way beyond the power of a killer weapon. And defeated you are. Now I can chant for these four, and I'm one step closer to being done with this beautiful, wonderful chapter. It is always exciting when that is the case. Wow, only 3 damage. I'd get a new job if I were you. And Ike gets a fantastic level up. That is max strength, close to max skill, close to max defense. What you really want is max strength and max speed. As long as you have 20 defense or more, you're pretty well golden. And that's what I have, so cannot complain. I'm going to trade your men. Okay, that guy has an axe, and he's the only one who could potentially reach Stefan. So I think that is perfectly fine. And I can heal up Shinon. Perfect. That means everybody has his healing he needs, and that is my turn. Perish. Perish. A decent amount of damage there, Titania. Not good. I don't think there's any worry of her going down, though. Not enough units over here to attack her, and she's likely to dodge at least something. Man, that's strange. He just opted not to attack her at all. Very, very strange. Having a little bit of a issue trying to understand why that just happened. Nice, nice. Yeah, because that bishop has been silenced, he has no capacity to heal any of his teammates. And he can't put any of mine to sleep, which is a phenomenal boon. Oh, nice. That might actually be maximum strength. Yes, it is. Maximum strength on Titania. This is only turn 7, and I've pretty well accomplished just about everything I want to do on this chapter, and all it took was a little bit of a speedy strategy. Considering that I have Racing around here, there is not a possible way that this enemy force could deal with me and my current force. Though I would love to continue the onslaught of Kalash. The problem is that it is time to declare this episode finito. I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe, depending on your platform of choice. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.